Hey guys, Sarah here from the Glitter Guy, and today I'm going to show you 3 UV resin crafts that you may never have thought of. So first up is going to be a fun, easy way to make handles for basically anything. I'm sure that you have come across a time where either the knob has fallen off your counter or broke or combination of the two. So I'm going to show you how to make a new one, either using the existing screw that was in your may be a cabinet or a drawer, or a new one. I went ahead and stole these screws from Jason's workshop. You will not miss them, I promise. I have screws of different thickness. I'm not a master at screws. And I have 2 silicone molds here. I'm gonna use this little heart one. And then, of course, you guys know I love Disney, so we're gonna do a little Mickey Mouse. All I'm gonna do is take the screw and put the butt inside of my mold. You don't wanna stand up, but that's okay. We'll make you stand up soon enough. Let me mix up my resin here. I'm actually not sure how much resin it will take to mix this up. I got red, R-E-A-D. It is our medium holographic red, R-E-D. I like a good pun. So I'm just mixing my glitter into my UV resin. And of course I am going to have to disturb this mold because I have to move it near the light. That's alright, we're gonna get this screw to stand up one way or another. Closer. And yes, I talk to all of my things, even when I'm very much alone. Alright. So this Mickey Mouse mold is kind of a little thick, so I'm going to do it in layers. UV resin depends on light to cure. The more light can get to all of the surfaces, the better. Actually, you know what? Let's take the screw out of this one. If I was good at measurements, I would tell you exactly how tall this is, but I'm gonna say like definitely less than 1/4 inch if I had this. So I poured a little bit in there, put on my super cute glasses, and we are going to let that cure for a few seconds. I'm hiding my original little cup of resin from my light just in case I don't want to cure it. If you have to do yours in layers, you're going to want all of your layers to be as cured as possible because you can't go back and do this when you pour your second layer. We'll be able to flip it over and cure it from the top, but you're going to have that layer of silicone in between the light and the resin, so it's not going to be as effective as if you were just right to the resin. We are cured. Now that my resin inside is cured, I'm just going to flip it over real quick and do what I just spoke about, curing it from the mold side. It might not be as effective, but it's still important. Alright, let's keep pouring. You might have to do some of your molds or projects in layers when you're using UV resin, but I still believe that it is way faster than using epoxy. That doesn't mean I don't like epoxy, it just means that I am pointing out I do believe it is quicker. And it looks like we are going to do this bad boy in 3 layers. So I got some resin on my threads of the screw. I'm going to make sure I get that off before proceeding, because then it's just going to cure right on the threads and you won't be able to thread it onto your cabinet door or drawer, whatever we're putting this on. Back under the light. There's never any instance that you ever want to look directly at your UV light. Same as when you're in a tanning bed, you have to wear those little goggles then. I mean, you're not even supposed to look directly at the sun. I'm already blind as it is, I don't need to be blinder. I'm just turning it on its side to make sure that I'm giving all of the surface of my resin a fair chance to cure. Gonna pour a little bit more in my mixing cup for our last layer. A little bit more glitter because glitter. The same with the thickness of your molds and your layers of UV resin. You also don't want to add too much mixatives, I guess we'll call them, because you could say inks, paints, and glitter to your UV resin, because that will also block the light from getting to all the surfaces. So if you do have a lot mixed in there, make sure they are as thin as you possibly can make the layers. This glitter shouldn't really be too much of an issue. I didn't coat the whole thing in it. And glitter's a little bit more, I'm gonna say see-through, but that's not the word I want. That's the word I'm gonna use. Now it's just the right amount. Of course, you could make this as thick as you want it. Again, when you're curing your resin crafts, make sure you are taking all of your resin that is out away from the light. And I say that because that's a very common mistake that a lot of people, especially if you're doing a lot of things at once, forget about. You know, you're just, all right, I'm ready. And your whole bottle of resin's out. I love this light. We're already cured. Just doing my safety layers. All right, let's see what this looks like. And there you have it. I can clean up the sides here with my Scotty peeler and sanding. The only thing I would have done different, and I wanted to stop myself and do it from the beginning, but of course, gotta jump right into it. I would have done a very thin layer of UV resin and glitter on the bottom of the mold, then set the screw. So you can see mine came out just a little bit, but this isn't going to stop me from using it anyway. So now you got all your threads here, and you can just screw it right into wherever, you can screw it right into wherever the old one came out of. I love it. So for my next trick, I'm going to turn potato chips into fashion apparel. So we got these ruffled potato chips. Sea salt. Yep, they will work. Well, here's the fun part. Let's find two that look alike. I watched this really cool video today. It was Sarah sorting out potato chips on YouTube. I'm gonna offer Jason his chips after I manhandled them all. I'm glad I caught myself because I was going to put all of these chips back in that bag. 5-minute crafts. Yeah, right. I'm gonna spend 5 minutes just picking out my potato chips. So this one from the video seemed super easy, and I can't see how we could possibly mess this up. I'm just free pouring my UV resin into this clean cup. Into this clean cup. Yes. So I got my little tweezers, and I'm gonna dip this chip right into this resin. I'm gonna drip off some of this excess. Absolutely going to hide my full cup of resin in my clear cup. I'm not going to cure it this way the whole way, so if you're skipping through my video, know that I'm going to take it off of these tweezers before I resin it to my tweezers. Which has already happened. Alright. I didn't ruin it though. This is going back under the light. Alright, let's try chip number 2. This technique is not a chip-only technique. I have seen people do this with other things, and they were food items. I was a little bit weary about it at first, but I mean, people put a lot other weirder things in resin. Nothing besides a silicone item comes to mind that you can't dip in resin. Not catching me slipping. It's a lot of resin. You know, I gotta say, for my first chip dip, I am pretty impressed. There is a little knobby here, and that's from when I was holding it. I forgot to take into consideration that there was nothing on the bottom here holding my resin in. So that is definitely something I would look out for next time I decide to dip some chips. But this is an easy fix. I can just, honestly, I'm pretty sure we can just cut this off. And you can. And it didn't even hurt the chip. Alright, I have these little hardware doodads. I'm just going to put it in place. I hope you guys don't think I was going to waste all that resin. Another favorite thing about resin for me is that you can pour it into a cup and pour it back. Ta-da! UV resin is a great adhesive for certain things. I've mentioned this on a video before, but it's currently keeping my glasses in place. I'm not wearing them, obviously, but so I just put a little dollop, if you will, and I'm gonna hold this in place for a few seconds because it's heavy and sliding off. And there you go, you got some chip earrings. Mine are not perfect, these are also my first pair. There's a few things, as I mentioned, I would have done a little different, but I'm really impressed. The video that I was watching doesn't offer any sound, but also that's kind of the person that I am. Look at the pictures, not read the words type person. Trying to see if this worked out for us. I have a good feeling. This is wax paper. At least I'm pretty sure it's wax paper. We lost the box and it feels like wax paper and not parchment paper. I want to make a cone like this. Just cut it in a little triangle so that I can easily make a cone, which it's already doing on its own. Cool. It understood the assignment. So I'm wrapping it in a cone, but I'm making sure that the tip down here is not open. A little bit of tape, keep it where I wanted it. I'm just gonna set it in this cup. So in the video, they had pretty little flowers that they put in there. I don't have pretty little flowers. I do have little flakes. I was going to put some little charms in it, but then I remembered charms are a little heavy and they would have all just sunk. Alright, so I'm going to put some UV resin in here. Just a little bit because I just want it to go into the cone, which is very narrow, so it'll quickly make a thick layer. So we're going to do the first layer with just a little bit, and I got this is glitter, blue, green, gold. I really wanted rainbow, but someone has come in here and helped themselves to my American rainbow. Just gonna add a little something to my resin. I'm just gonna pour it right in my cone that I made. Alright, we are in the cone. This looks like we're in the cone because the UV resin is clear. I'm gonna cut this tip off of here. I don't want to tilt it. I know that my UV resin's probably already setting up and might not slide around, but I don't want to take the chance. But kind of giving it a fighting chance on all ends down here. Making sure I'm moving my cone so that if any dripped out, I'm not resining it right to the bottom of the skull, which does not seem to be happening. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to take out a few flakes. I haven't really used my, obviously because it's full. Everything is sticky. So this, the Marabou glitter alcohol inks and the rainbow one are my favorite additives to anything. Epoxy, resin. It just shows glittery. All of them. So obviously the ones that are colored show the colors a little bit, and the rainbow one is rainbow. But they are all handy and they all work the same way because they don't have like a background color, I guess you can say. Alright, so I got my gold flakes in there and I'm just pouring this in. Just crunching my little flakes down, which I kind of like. I think my next layer I'm just going to put clear resin in and see. Nah, I don't want glitter. Now my cone is getting wider, so the layers will be thinner by default, so I'm not afraid to put a little bit more resin in this time. Form it in my cone. And back under our light. These quick 5-minute craft videos always look so easy in the video. We're gonna see for real today, and if we use the right paper. It's getting heavy, the whole cone. When I move it around, you can feel the weight, so it's definitely curing. Let's see what it looks like. It is peeling off. It's getting stuck in a few places, but I think it's getting stuck in places that the UV resin didn't cure all the way. And that could be rectified real easy by either smaller layers or longer cure times. But for the most part, this peeled right off of the majority of this little cone. Every so often there's a bow in the paper, and it makes it easy to just get under there and rip it off. I would say this came off 85% of my cone.
Yeah, it's not our fault. Blame 5 Minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a letter to them and let them know what I think. Mostly happy. I would not say that this one was a fail at all. I would just say smaller layers. Maybe that one that I did, this third layer, might do a smidgen smaller, because that seems to be where I had my issues, because the top came right off. So I would definitely not say fail. I would just say learning curve. There you go. Kind of a slant, but I don't really mind it. But if I wanted to make this completely flat, I could just take my Dremel and sand the whole bottom of that. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you take a lot from it, and definitely don't be afraid to try those little jammer crafts that you see in all these cool videos, Reels, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. This was my first time trying all 3 of these, and I would say that I had a great time. And although we learned a few things on that last one, I think they all worked out really well. And I can't wait to make more handles for all my drawers and cabinets. I think we're gonna have to upgrade these in the warehouse, my house, Chris's house, everyone's house. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, please, and have a great day.